Thank God for the market. But today, the offer you are coming out 12 naira 50 kobo against market price. I think by today, I don't know what is 11 naira. Is that good for the market? Why must the offer price above the current market trading? Because this is a change. There's no way you can manipulate it to hide the price. No. The market trade based on information you have. And if anything contrary, the market will not accept it. So at least the market should have been cheaper to compensate people who are coming in. If it have given it 11.50, should have been the idea for me, so that people will patronize it and keep. See what you are doing. I don't know the breed you are planting, because today plantations will have a good breed, like we call Malaysia. At least 1 year, you start yielding fruit. It's not a longer time something, or 5 years or 3 years. No. Within 1 year, and they are yielding fruit already. And one can stay, say, okay, we can make money investing in a plantation since you abandon fisheries now. And also the piggery you are going is also another spinning market business. I commend you for those visions. But I hope it will translate to higher dividend and higher capital appreciation. So that's the things people looked at, and it's Christ's issue when it will come. But you can't pay those things when you're deficit, because that already have eaten deep into the books. But I believe that this is you are into now. We're able to wipe out the losses of many years and able to have a healthy company that we can be proud of, a healthy balance sheet. Maybe the NGS will now list you at a premium. I don't know the class you are now, So these are things. Because when you are coming here, you are not exposed yourself to the world, the public. The era have gone where you bring goat, come and sell the floors, okay, change. And when they bought the goat, pay the money, we disappear in the TA. Information about you will be static. It will not be forthcoming. So that you need to have a change of heart in relating to the members of the public, investing public, You need to also show us the way you are by coming here, whether you are doing good or doing bad. Let us see you, not disappearing for the TA.
Thank you, sir.
Please let me finish, okay? That should not be the idea anymore. So we pray that this new venture now, we're able to establish fully and give returns back to the investing public. I want to commend you, and your management will be reachable. One thing I want you to, I'm going to drop the mic. One thing I want you to do, because we have asked this in the past, take us to this site. Let us see. The stockbrokers, the shareholders key, arrange a visit to this site of your new operation. Let us go and see. I will report back to the market. They listen to us. We cannot blow the trumpet on your behalf that yes, we have gone, we have seen. A lot of companies have done it. When people say we don't know where they're operating, what are they even doing in the first place? But they can't come here and tell us paperwork. We're in this and plantation, 100 hectares, this and that. We want to go and see those sites and verify for ourselves. They will come back and they go, shareholders, is it not true? Yes. That's the way to go. I know Benson very well. Benson knows me when he came to Kumato's company, but he tried, even though that company had never paid dividend before he ceremoniously exited that company. But when he was Ancon, he was not our friend then, But I believe Benson being here today, he knows the market, he's a friend. And even when I saw him, he moved, he didn't recognize me, I don't know. So I believe totally that being there on this board, okay, we're going to have a lot to call him to give account of what this company is doing. If the other person, I will hold Benson responsible. If Chika run away from me, I can't be seeing him, but I will hold Benson. So I believe that new Ellah Lakes will be a new company through to the award, because we are not swimming now in the lake of fish. We are not swimming in the lake of plant plantation. That is the way to go. Because Nigeria is no more important from the people who stole the seed from us and go back to, and they are exporting to the whole world. So let us tell them that we can do it. It can happen here. so that we can know where to pay tax. Chairmaker was analyzing how much tax we paid. If the company is doing well, 10% is take off from the shareholder proceeds for dividend, we shall pay tax. The company also pay tax. So we also pay tax to Nigeria. No incentive. That's the problem we are having. So I pity all of you. God will help us. Thank you.
May I please ask that the next person please keep your questions really brief so we're able to accommodate enough questions as possible. Next person, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Ibekwe Roberts Adenoba. I'm a shareholder. I want to thank NGX. First of all, I want to thank NGX because they have made a lot of issues regarding shares very seamless. Just yesterday, in fact, it was in the night that I had to buy into shares, an offer that is going on. In the comfort of my room, I had to buy it. And I look forward that it will be the same thing with Ellah Lake. Sir, Mr. Chika Mode, I have questions for you. The question is, first of all, why is it that you are doing only public offer? We have a lot of shareholders who want to key in. You would have considered hybrids, possibly giving right issue to the existing shareholders and make up others from public. I am saying so because if you go to the public, it's like going to, like the Israelites going to the Pharaoh that they didn't know, or Moses going to the Pharaoh that he didn't know. If you had allowed shareholders, all shareholders to key in through rights and some for public, it would have been very beautiful. So that is something that I don't know how we are going to do. The second question is the pricing. Definitely you did mention something, starting from the CEO of NGS, that if we don't get it now, we may be begging for it. In the sector where you belong, is a sector that is even stronger now than the oil and gas. Because what we have in that sector, the byproducts we have in that sector, that is palm oil, is higher, better, and more than what we have from crude oil. So it's a fantastic sector that those who want to key in now, we have a lot to thank God for. But still, the price, if you are to say of the price, store that is opening today 10th and closing on 5th of December, how will the pricing go? As of today, I checked the platform, it's 11 naira 60 kobo. So you can see the difference. A company that is still ongoing, proposed rights and public. The right is what used to be. Where you have rights, you can trade on your rights and you have benefits. So, I don't know. This pricing, I don't know how it can be readjusted. It cannot be. I don't know. That's the question, the statement I made. It cannot be readjusted. But definitely, for me and shareholders of like minds, it is a bit high. But we're going to come in. We are going to come in. My fear is the public. If you had done hybrid, whereby all shareholders can take their rights, and the new ones coming in, it would have been fantastic. So I don't know how you did your consultation, but I wish you the best. As for me, as an individual, I'm still going to come in, take some. I wish us the very best.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's add one more question. There's an hand behind.
The chairman, the team from Ellah Leaks, interestingly, this is the second time that Ellah Lakes is coming in my short history in the market. The first time was when Senator Francis Ellah came and introduced the company. And now we have a new Francis in Modi. But my area of concern first is the fact that you talked about cash crop. Is it as distinct from the palm itself, or which other crops are you hoping to introduce, talking about the cash crop? The second one that I also think some clarification will be necessary for people to understand your 2 years in dividend coming is that the variety of palm tree that we are planting, what is the fruition stage? How many years does it need to grow before it begins to produce fruits? Because it's from the fruits that you get the palm oil. So I hope it's something that you also speak to. I also find the analogy around what Presco and Okomo is doing. And the reason I'm curious around it is the fact that if you look at even the banking subsector, all of them basically look for cash. And the cash they get, they give other people on loan and make money. Is it that all palm companies in every location in the world profitable? Because it may also help the understanding of this, the presentation. I wish there was a little more of flow in the presentation, because I saw that you were moving from one page to the other. And, but that notwithstanding, one of the major challenges that I also think that you need to address, yes, this team is not the team that you had probably earlier. This is not your first time of making an attempt to go into business of this nature. I don't have a problem with people failing, but it may be necessary that you also give some assurance that, some of the things that didn't make it happen where you wanted to be earlier are things that you have learned lessons from, and you are going to apply them to make sure that it also doesn't happen here. And I say this with all due respect, because if you look globally, you're going to find that some persons make mistakes, and they find it very difficult in living above those mistakes. Some persons make mistakes, and then they live far ahead of the mistakes that they have made. Because whether you want it or not, as the chief shepherd of Ellah Lakes, quite a number of persons will also ask, where are you coming from? That will be my observations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we've had enough questions for this round. Can I have responses to these questions? Thank you.
Yes, thank you very, very much for those extremely interesting questions. I think, number one, I think it's important to note that, as a number of speakers have said, we are the new Ellah Lakes. Ellah Lakes was listed a very long time ago. But I think it's important to make some very salient points. As you mentioned, sir, this is not our first time at this table in the last few years. The last time we were here, 5 years ago, we had an insolvent company. We had just taken over an Ellah Lakes that had not generated any revenue for the past few years, that did not have a balance sheet that was viable. So I think it's important to note the growth that we have made over the last 4 years. And 5 years ago when we started and I sat at this table, I said, any shareholder who expected revenues inside the next 4 years should please sell their shares. That's what I said. But I said it will take us 4 years of planting in order to start our growth and get to a place where we could have a new trajectory. And I think we're at that place now. We started reporting revenues this year. I always said we would look at viable M&A opportunities, and if we saw one that was that made sense to us in terms of the numbers, we would do it. And we've seen that, and that's why we're back here. But I think it's important to address some of the questions that the gentlemen have raised during the course of this session. So I think there are two things. In terms of the stockbroker's visit, I think 3.5 months ago, we were trading at 2.55 kobo, and no one understood what we were doing. When you say we should have a stockbroker's visit, we have had a stockbroker's visit. That was very publicized, and I think that was what led to the change in our pricing in the market, because people recognize how much we have actually planted, the nature of our oil mill. We were not on social media, but we went on Twitter and Instagram, and people recognized, oh, we actually have an oil mill that has started producing palm oil this year. So yes, we had that visit. We have publicized what we do. We've had some shareholder visits also, along with the stockbrokers visit. But we intend to do that again in Q1 next year and in Q3 next year, to do it regularly so the market understands what we're doing and there's more visibility around our activity. So, I mean, thank you very much for that suggestion, but we intend to do it as regularly as we can. I expect once a quarter at the very minimum to just keep the market up to date with what we're doing. So I'd like you to note that we've taken that suggestion on board, but we're actually trying to engage in that as much as possible. On the special breed of oil palm, I think it's public knowledge. An oil palm tree takes at least 4 years to start to germinate and produce viable fresh fruit bunches. That at the present time is the best we have in the market, and that's what we're doing. I think we have the most, for our climate and for where we live and for what we do, we have engaged in a lot of R&D, and we think we're doing the best in terms of palm oil and oil palm bunch trees that we're planting. So we're very confident in the future. We're very happy with what we're doing. And I think we've been very, very careful about what we've been planting and what we're trying to do, and in trying to grow our land bank and in trying to cultivate our oil palm. So I note your concerns, but I'd like to say that we are very, very deliberate about what we're doing, and that's why we're so confident about coming to the market at this time. So I hope I've taken care of all your questions. And if there are any supplementary questions, I'm happy to answer them after we finish. And Mr. Ibekwe talked about the hybrids, which is what I wanted to address that with the planting, but also about the pricing. And I think it's a very, very important point. How we priced this offer was based on what we felt was the intrinsic value of the acquisition that we're making, the amount of revenue it has already, and the amount of revenue that it would make next year. So it is very, very, very value accretive to Ellah Lakes PLC. I expect the market will recognize this, and I expect where the market will go in terms of pricing. But I think it's important to understand some things. We have just over 3 billion shares in issue. We're raising 18 billion new shares. So any substantial shareholder who wants to buy will have to come from the new issue, not the old issuance of shares. So my expectation is the share prices will at some point converge, and we should have a very successful public offer. But we went through a long, significant process of due diligence, of assessing. The due diligence was done by Deloitte, by PwC, Oak Legal, Dentons. So a significant number of professionals in the industry who give us advice on what we're doing. And so I'm very confident about our pricing, and I'm very confident about placing it at this particular price in the market. Yeah. Were there comments you wanted to make? Okay. Happy to take the next set of questions.
All right, so let's hear from this other side of the room. Perhaps are there any questions from this side of the room, from the broker side? I see a hand raised here, please.
Thank you very much. The MD, I welcome you to NGX. First thing I want to let you know that agro-business is if you have started production, is it entirely from your farm or you source from elsewhere? That's number one. Number two, the one from your firm, I want to advise, because of the trend in palm oil business. People do go there in the night to harvest, stealing your produce. How do you ward off this kind of privilege? Because it will be a serious damage to your success. That's number two. Number three, your price, like you maybe rightly mentioned, slept for a very long time in the market. Deep sleep until you now came in. I want to find out from you, I hope this price will not slip again after taking public funds. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Do we have any other question? Do we have? Okay, there's one other on that side.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Jesu Demilade. I'm an investor representative. So I followed your presentation, right? And what struck my eye was the ARPN acquisition. I note that Ellah Lakes is a relatively small company, so I want to know how you were able to land such a huge transaction. That's my question.
All right. Thank you. Can we now have responses to these questions? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll answer first on the production. So, number one, straightforward. All the CPO we've produced this year and all the milling is directly from what we've planted over the last 4 years. So that is all our production. We have not done any outsourcing yet. It does not mean that we don't plan to, but there's been no reason to do so yet. On the stealing, yes, of course that happens, but it's a question of security. So we outsource to local vigilantes, we have local hunters, and we have a detachment of mobile policemen from the Nigerian police force. So it's a combination of policing and then the local environment. So any environment we're in, we have community liaison officers from the local communities. So I think it's important to be integrated with the communities that we work with. So everywhere we're planting, we have vigilantes, we have hunters, but we have representatives from the local communities working with us. And I think that's probably the most important part in terms of working on the security. On the pricing, I think, like I said earlier, the pricing is a function of the significant financials on the acquisition that we're making. And I mean, our CFO is here, Mr. Hewitt Benson, so I'd like him to make a few comments on that also. Hewitt.
I think before I go any further, I better recognize in full Mr. Boniface Okezie. I didn't ignore you. I said hello, so please don't take that against me. Before I also go further, I think a lot of people were recognized at the start, but I have to recognize my boss when I first came back to the country for a lot of what I have learned. He's the chairman of the FMDQ group, Dr. Jubelaku. I think we left him out, so I can't do that. He was my first boss at Citibank, so I must, if I go amiss. In terms of and I think Chuka left this out in terms of processing capability. On our farm, we do have a 5-ton mill. It does have significant capacity. And the timing of this offer, I think, is ripe because it has taken 3-4 years for our seedlings to become harvestable, if such a word exists. So the price of our income, if you look at our balance sheet or our income statement, should increase significantly. I don't think we saw the projections properly, but processed oil and selling fresh fruit bunches, there's a big differential. There's a multiplication factor of 4 or 5. That is where we're going. This acquisition that we're doing, and I hope I'm not jumping the gun, Chuka, but you can wink at me if I jump the gun a bit. But the acquisition that we're doing is at the same stage of development that we are at. So it's a scalable transaction. By the time we also plant CPO mill there, revenues will achieve what we have put there. So I think people need to understand that. Now, the market, I think, has understood that because they have built that in the price that they have pitched for. So the market doesn't tell a lie. People foresee where it's going to go to, and they take a punt. And that is what has happened in driving the price significantly up. Now, prices go up, they come down. I know I don't know who said whether it's Boniface that the price is below the offer price at the moment. But look, the price is fluctuating at the moment. But as Chuka mentioned, whether you have access to the quantity that you're looking for at the price that we're at, which is extremely good. I mean, if you look at what we're acquiring, you will see that everything is priced attractively. It is not a premium. We have spent good money. We argued in paying the likes of Deloitte, PwC, to do their due diligence. So there's reference. Before I came in here, a director asked me, the pricing of what we're acquiring, how was that arrived at? Was it just a stab in the dark? Absolutely not. It was guided. And I think speculators have built that in to them bidding for our price. So the price is definitely, personally, I think it's at a discount as to where it should really be. And we got good advice in arriving at this lower figure. So I think it'll go a lot more. I hope I've not overspoken. Chuka.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we tried to address as much of the questions as we could with information which is in the public domain. I think with the presentation we made, there's some aspects of it we can talk about publicly, and we're going to. But like I said, in our first full year of production, we expect to make revenues of 24 billion naira. And I think that's a very, very significant jump from where we are at the present time. And if you factor in 24 billion naira into what we're trading at the present time and our post-acquisition shares in issue, I think this is 12 naira 50 kobo is a very, very good price. I mean, of course, I would say this because I'm the CEO, but 12 naira 50 kobo is ground entry for anyone. And as Jude said, I don't expect that we will trade at this level anytime in the near future going forward, because once we close this transaction, it's a very transformational change in terms of the nature of Ellah PLC.
Thank you very much. Please, let's put our hands together for the management of Ellah PLC. Now, for the closing remarks, let me please invite the doyen of the markets, Mr. Sam Ndata, for the closing remarks. Please put your hands together for him.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank the Nigerian Exchange Group for organizing this platform for Ellah PLC to come and express themselves. And I'm happy that Ellah PLC is coming here today to address the market. Well, I'll say that talk runs like a mad dog. I want to say one thing before I continue on the other things I've jotted down. Please, like Boniface Okeze has said, if you want to do factory visit, please meet the CEO and the broker-dealer department and make sure you contact the doyen. Because it's not roadshow, it's factory visit. There are active people that raise in the market that make price on your product, your shares on a daily basis. You don't just bring in any person to go and do this thing. Somebody that was not there when somebody was buried, if he's asking to go and exhume it, he will start from the wrong side of it. When you did their factory visit, did you see my face? Did you see the senior doyen's face? You see, what I'm telling you now is that if you want to do something, you have to do it properly. When Alili was instituting this factory visit, I was there, and I know the only person among us that I can remember was Nonawo. He specifically said, this is how it will be organized. These people who will go for this thing. Traders who are actively on the floor. Even if you want to put your name, they will ask you, when did you trade last on the floor? But now, it's just, we are making it as roadshow. Because if they come back, nobody's moving your price, nobody's giving active distinct price to what they have seen. Because they are not the people who are supposed to be there. You didn't see the doing, you didn't ask question, and you are saying you did factory visit. Which factory visit? Please, take note. Well, I would say there's no, like I told you before, there's no long speech for evening's service. I want to thank you for coming, and I know you have a very good agro-business to do, because I know that you have the skill, and you can move this, you have the skill and you have the passion to move this business forward. I know that the goat is sweating, but the bears in the body will not allow the onlooker to see the sweat. I know you are doing well, and like Nana had pointed out, when Senator Francis Ellah came here to list this, we didn't know that it will last like this, because so many people didn't take him serious. And we thank God that the thing is still surviving. And I know you have a viable business and a good product. And like what I was taught, that good business advertises itself. You don't need to advertise this business because it is good. I know it is good, and the brokers know that you are doing a good business. When you are asking questions, you are expecting so many hands from the broker side because they are the one you are coming to talk to. But you do see so many hands from the broker side because they know what you are doing. They understand their business. When you see a child crying and pointing hand at a particular direction, if the father is not there, the mother must be there. You look at that direction properly. The people who are financing this business, they are pointing that for why now they have not eaten. They have not taken dividend. And you are saying, we will do it. In 2 years, 3 years, we will do it. Yes, it's becoming monkey meat. They say monkey meat is sweet when it is dry. What will we be eating to wait for the meat to dry? So you better do something fast. They've waited enough. They like you, that's why they are here supporting you. The animal, this animal that we are here to butcher, it's not the type we have not killed before. We have killed it before. That's why we know how to butcher it. Please, advice is not a cause. What we are telling you is that make amend and you move forward. And I see that NBC and other financial advisor that is advising you, they are seasoned sub-brokers. They know what they are doing. I don't know why you are not consulting them constantly to advise you and move you forward. Please, NBC, if you are here, please, make hay while the sun shines. We don't want to hear excuses next time when Ellah comes here. When they come here, we want to hear the type of dividend they want to pay to shareholders. They've waited enough. And Ellah, I know your shares will be oversubscribed because people are aware of what we are doing. And I know how brokers behave. The moment we finish there, I know they will go out to market this product and make sure that you excel in what you are doing. Take yourself serious, and other people will take you serious. Here end my catechism for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And on Doyen's catechism notes, ladies and gentlemen, we'll bring this facts behind the offer to a close. A very big thank you to everyone for joining us today. It was great having everyone join us today, and we hope to see you some other time at the exchange. Until next time, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen.